Well, winter's over, and I've been driving the C-Max, and I realized that I have two of the rear defrost grid lines burned out. If you look here, you can see that there's the lighter portion of that grid line, and that's where I found it to be burned out. So the way you test your rear defroster grid line is you need to power on the defroster grid. Then you're just going to use a voltmeter with your power and ground, and you're going to start at one end of the grid. Now here I basically had an idea of where the breakage was, and this happens from things in the cargo area rubbing up against the glass. And what you're looking for is battery voltage. So in this case it's going to be 12 to 13 volts is going to be battery voltage, and if it's reading 2 volts or 1 volt or so, that means that grid's good. So here we're using the Permatex window grid defrost repair kit. I like this kit, and I just went over the instructions real quick, but it's a very basic kit. First of all, we're going to use an alcohol wipe to clean the glass. The kit also comes with a little bit of sandpaper to scuff up the existing grid. Okay, and then it comes with a stencil here, and I initially put the stencil on and then I thought that it was too thick, and so I decided to make my own thinner masking tape, and I can tell you in the end that didn't work out real well. You do want to use a thicker stencil. The repair is just going to look a little bit thicker than the way the factory grid is. There's not much you can do about that, and ultimately you need that extra robustness. So here's the paint that you put on. It's just like a metallic copper based paint that is conductive to electricity. And so you literally just paint on a new grid repair. Now I did it in a couple of coats, and because of the way it builds up and it gets kind of thick, and with my thin tape it wanted to peel the whole thing off, and so I had some trouble getting good continuity with the voltmeter after I was done painting it on. So I definitely recommend taking your time. Use the thicker stencil that's included in the kit. And after it's dried, I go ahead and pull the masking tape away very carefully. This is the part where I wish I wouldn't have used the thin masking tape. I should have used the stencil provided. I think the thicker layer of defrost grid paint would have adhered better to the glass, and I wouldn't have had issues later on that I had to redo the defroster grid repair. Okay, and with that, I just want to test it one more time, and here we can see it's got 2 volts, so that one's repaired. Now this is the one that gave me trouble, and I had to redo it a couple times to get the voltage back down and get good continuity. Reading 12 volts means that there's still an open between the grid. And here's the final result. Well, I hope this showed you how easy it is to repair a rear window defroster grid, and if it did, like this video and subscribe for more DIY content in the future.